Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. I hope that the audio on this is okay. I once again cannot find my mic, so I am filming this on my phone. This is a requested video from one of my followers. They wanted me to do an update video on the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. So what I'm doing is that I'm going to combine an update on what's going on collectively with the virus, but also I'm going to combine it with what you can expect for the week. So this is like a weekly energy reading combined with a COVID-19 update reading. So I'm going to dive right into it. I will be extending this video. Usually my standard readings are about $5.55. But since we are, in a crisis right now, I am lowering the price to $3. And it'll be $3, but it'll also be pay as you wish, meaning you can do $3 or you can tip more if you would like. But I wanted to make it as affordable for everyone as possible. So during the duration of this pandemic or this quarantine, my extended readings will be reduced price. So let's dive right into this. So the overall energy is the Beyond Illusion card, clarified by the Community card in the reverse. So with the Beyond Illusion card being here, it looks like what's going on in the collective is that everybody is starting to pretty much, I wouldn't say settle into what's going on, but everyone's seeing the reality of what's going on. At first, everyone was in a lot of denial. Some people were in denial out of fear, but some people were in denial just based off of past experiences, is what I'm hearing. Like, there's been other instances where things have kind of plagued the collective, like fearful, what would the word be, diseases, viruses. Like, for example, remember the swine flu outbreak? That was pretty serious. Everyone knew about that. Also, what was it, like way back in the day, the anthrax scare where everyone was afraid of getting anthrax in the mail, like that. Like, people thought that this was going to be something like that. Like, it was going to be, a little scary or a bit scary, and everyone's kind of in hysterics for a little bit, and then it goes back to normal. But they didn't anticipate that it would be this serious. So a lot of people now are just seeing the severity of what's going on. I am hearing that a lot of people are trying to stay on the positive side or the bright side, which is a good thing because that's really needed for the collective. When it comes to thoughts, when multiple people are having the same thought, it sends out a very powerful energy into the universe. It sends out a very powerful energy that we can all feel. An example of that would be when Donald Trump first got elected for president and everyone was like wide awake. Like, if you got on social media, everyone could feel the collective energy. It's like that. Collective thought is very, very powerful. Collective prayer is very powerful. So there are people who have been trying to think very positive and send positive vibes or positive thoughts out into the world. There's people who've been doing collective prayer, collective meditation, and that actually is helping us as a collective. We can actually feel it as a collective. It's helping to offset some of the fear and anxiety. Without the people who have been doing this, there would be a lot more fear that we would be feeling. So, definitely very grateful. A lot of gratitude to those people. And if you have not been doing that, you may want to try doing that, like before bed, just sending well wishes out to the collective, because it really does make a difference. I'm also seeing too, though, that a lot of people are feeling disappointed with how people are not cooperating, because with the Community card being here in the reverse, it's like this awareness of how selfish people can really be, because this Community card in reverse represents the people who are genuinely just not doing everything in their power to help in terms of keeping everyone safe. Like, these are the people who are still going to parties. These are the people who are still like they're not practicing social distancing at all. They're just kind of like, well, my immune system is healthy. I'm young. I'm not old. I'm fine. And they'd rather just keep doing what they've been doing. People are starting to see how dangerous these types of people are. They're starting to see how selfish these types of people are. Like I said in my other update video, this is just opening a lot of people's eyes to how much narcissism and selfishness has been plaguing our collective. Just to see people in such a crisis, and then to see people still not caring and only caring about their own personal satisfaction, it's just very, very eye-opening. And I'm hearing that a lot of people are very disturbed by this. Like, seeing this firsthand, a lot of people are like, wow, I can't believe people can be this heartless or this selfish. So a lot of people are kind of seeing how dangerous this type of mindset can be, or this type of selfishness can be. And I keep on channeling messages about how when this passes, a lot of people are going to be much more empathic, or they're going to have a lot more empathy than they once did, just from seeing the selfishness. Like sometimes we have to see the opposite of what we are intended to be. So for example, like people who have very terrible parents, they could end up being the best parents because they've learned how not to be from their own parents. You see, it's kind of like that. Like we're seeing what not to do. A lot of people are seeing what not to do and seeing the selfishness and seeing how people's narcissism and selfishness can actually cause people to lose their lives. So I see a lot more selflessness and empathy coming out of this. Even though it is frustrating that some people are not cooperating still. So the next two cards out are the playfulness cards in reverse, and we have the despair card as well. So the playfulness card being here in the reverse, I'm feeling like one major blockage is that a lot of people are in a state of fear. And there's nothing wrong with being fearful because that's a natural human emotion. Like I'm not saying, oh, just push your fears to the side, but there may be a need for you to confront that fear, to not feed it, but to confront it. And by feed it, I mean, don't go on the news or don't go looking for news and looking at the death toll. I know like someone told me the death toll for my area, and I'm like, why would you tell me that? Like I did not want to know the death toll. I don't look at the death toll. It's just I don't see what that does for your mind. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying ignore it as if it's not happening, but don't feed it. Confront it, don't feed it. So if you are fearful, maybe confronting it would be like sitting down and journaling, I have these fears, or talking to someone about it. Like that would be confronting it, to kind of help to soothe yourself, but not diving into it and making it worse. A way that I like to confront my fear is to, like I said, journal it, openly admit it, and then try to find something that can give me hope. So instead of going to look for the death toll, maybe I'll go and look for some news reports on the people who are giving food away and who are helping those in need during this crisis. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, yes, you can confront the fear, but then try to offset it with something of the positive of a more positive vibration or the opposite vibration. But don't try to ignore the fear, or don't try to feed it. With the despair card being here in the reverse, though, yeah, that's what I mean when I say that a lot of people's blockage is that some are trying to feed it, but some are trying to ignore it completely, and that's not going to help. This is going to be a perfect opportunity for a lot of people to really take care of themselves and to really get in touch with their emotions, because a lot of people, when they're on the go, like when they're busy and they're on the run and they're going to work and their day-to-day hustle, it's like they don't really have time to even sit and process their emotions, including fear. So this is an opportunity for people to really get in touch with their fears, with their doubts, with their just all these different emotions that are coming to the surface. I'm hearing like people who are like devastated that they can't see their families right now. That's an emotion that's coming up. Like, you'd be very surprised at how many people don't know how to process emotion. They'll either dive too far into the emotion to the point where they're drowning, or they'll try to ignore it completely. So this pandemic and us being quarantined, it's like it's forcing people to learn how to face and process their emotions without going to the extremes. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, if that's something you've been struggling with, definitely give that a try. Definitely give a try of processing your emotions in a healthy way, sitting with them, instead of going to the opposite extreme with them. I'm trying to see if any other messages are coming out for that. I think that's it. With the experiencing card being next and the thief card in reverse. Wow. Okay. So this is the advice card moving forward. So the experiencing card, I got a very clear message: stay home. That's very clear, because the experiencing card is about going out, exploring the world, having new experiences, and this is literally in the reverse. So it's literally saying stay home. Now is not the time to try to go and explore and out the outdoors, and which I'm sure most of you who are watching this, you're already doing that, or you're already aware of that. But also I'm hearing that don't think that you're missing out on anything right now. Understand that everything that's happening right now, there is a silver lining to it. There's a silver lining to everything. So with this, it may feel like, oh God, I'm missing out, or like I wish I was out, or this was supposed to be my year to travel, or things of that sort. It's okay to feel like that, but you're not missing out on anything because of the fact that everything is in divine order right now. And even this time that you are kind of quote unquote stuck in the house, this actually is a part of your growth, or this actually is a part of your growth cycle or your growth process. So what you could have been doing if there was no pandemic happening right now is really of no comparison to what you can do right now, because there's so much growth that can take place right now inside that you would not have been able to experience if we were still in our day-to-day lives. I hope that that makes sense. So you're not missing out on anything. Everything is in divine order, and everything that you want to experience, you're going to get the chance to experience down the road. Just consider this like a waiting period, that is going to help in your growth process. It's going to help in your evolution, because a lot of people are being very tested during these times. And like I said, a mostly emotional test, where people are being faced with their own emotions and being asked to process their emotions in a healthy way that they did not before. They're being asked to observe human behavior in a way that they haven't before. It's like it's a lot of internal growth that has the ability to take place that would not otherwise take place if not for what's going on right now. So I'm not saying that, oh yeah, this is a good thing, because obviously it's not. Like, people are dying, people are losing their loved ones. It's absolutely not a good thing. But even during bad times, or during these terrible things that happen, there can always be a silver lining in it, even through all of the strife and all of the struggle. With the thief card being here in reverse, yeah, some people just feel like their time is being robbed. Like, they're being robbed of their time, they're being robbed of their experiences, and I'm just hearing very clearly that that's not the case. It's like a need to look at things from a different perspective, because like I was saying, whatever you were going to be experiencing out there, it's nothing compared to what you have the ability to experience while you're indoors. So just try to keep that in mind and see things from a whole different perspective. It just reminds me of like, when someone's pregnant, right? This is the example I'm getting. When someone's pregnant, it's like they're so, they can't wait to meet their baby, right? But that doesn't mean they are hoping and wishing for the baby to be born early. Like, they still have to wait that 9 month period. It's a growth period. You see what I'm saying? So they're not sitting there like, oh my God, while the baby's in me, I'm wasting so much time. I could be with the baby right now. And they don't see it as a waste of time. They see it as the baby growing. You see what I'm saying? Like, you'll never hear like someone refer to a pregnancy as a waste. Like, this is a waste of my time. The baby needs to be here. This is a waste. Like, no, the baby doesn't need to be here right now, because there's a waiting period for a reason. And that growth period, any mother that's pregnant knows that that growth period is, necessary. It's essential. So they don't want to rush the process, and they don't feel like they're being robbed of their time, with their baby, because the growth process is still taking place. It's in divine order. All right, so 1 second. I'm going to actually reshuffle, and I'm going to pull cards I'm going to try to see if I can see when this is going to end. I usually don't make future predictions, so this should be interesting. I'm going to see if I can see. Hold on 1 second. Oh boy. All right. So I asked my cards, when can we expect this pandemic to slow down, or when can we expect things to kind of go back to normal, whatever normal means. And I do want to remind everyone that with tarot, when it comes to future predictions, it's not written in stone, because we do have free will. So it really depends on how the choices that people are going to make and how they're going to behave. It can transform the outcome of this. That's why it's going to be very difficult to predict, because it involves so many people, and every person involved has free will. So it's going to be very difficult to predict, but I figured I would at least give it a go, because we've been talking about it on Twitter. So I got the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Six of Cups. Immediately I'm here in winter time. Sheesh. Okay, because I'm seeing January, February, and I'm not saying we're going to be like locked in until January, February of next year, but I'm kind of seeing that that's when things are going to feel quote unquote normal. We'll be back into the swing of things. It won't necessarily be normal, but because it's not going to go back to being normal, but we'll be back into the swing of things. I'm predicting January, February. Okay. I'm going to pull one more. right. Um, and again, this is not set in stone, so do not be alarmed. Um, but yeah, it's just really, I keep on getting, like, people think it's summer, or they're feeling like it could be the summer, but I'm not seeing that. I'm more so seeing, like, if it's going to be summer, it'll be towards like the end of the summer, like moving into fall, when people will really stop being so, I wouldn't say fearful. See, here's the thing. I'm going based off of not when we're going to be off of lockdown. Like, that can be within the next couple months. You see what I'm saying? I'm more so going, or I'm more so reading for when people are going to start getting back into the swing of just their day to day routines. Like, when we can travel without being so fearful. And when I say travel, I mean like just outside, like to the grocery stores and things of that sort. Um, that I feel like is taking place like around fall time, is when people will start to kind of, you'll see the masks disappearing a little more. People will still be kind of cautious. People will still be kind of like touchy about it. It's going to be a long time that people are going to be like that, because of the fact that we're being conditioned to be like that right now. Because when, for a long time we are wearing these masks and we're being fearful and we're going outside. We'll call it cautious, being cautious. Of course, naturally, it's not going to take just one day of them being like, okay, well, everything's fine now, and everybody just throws their masks off and they're just like, phew, okay, let's go. No, it's not going to work like that. If you've been operating a certain way for a while, then you're going to keep operating that way for a little bit, and you're going to have to wean off of that way of doing things. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that. I'm seeing that, like around the fall time is when you're going to start to see the masks disappear a little more. You're going to start to see people kind of, maybe not practicing social distancing as much as they used to, not being as fearful as they used to, things of that sort. But I feel like things will be back to quote unquote normal, whatever normal is, to the point where you're just walking around normally in January, February-ish of next year. Wow. So yeah, that's what I see. I'm going to get into the extended now. Um, in the extended, because fewer people buy the extended than who watch the general videos, the extended will be more specific to the people who are going to buy it. So let's say like 1,000 people watch this video. I'm now reading for 1,000 people. Well, I'm reading for the collective, really, because this is a collective energy reading. But yeah, I'm reading for like 1,000 people for a general video, right? Let's say like 400 people buy the extended. That means that now I can get more specific with the messages because I'm reading for less people. So in the extended, we're going to get more specific about your upcoming week, blockages that may take place, and just things you can do to kind of lessen your fears, and to have a positive, progressive upcoming week. So I will leave a link to that in the description box down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you are going to purchase the extended, then I will see you guys over on the extended video.